Hi everybody, my name is Julie Rain. I'm a product marketer here at Medium, and today I'm going to talk to you all about whether or not you should include an image on your stories on Medium. I'm going to get into whether it's required, some data about whether or not images help your story reach readers, and I'll end with some best practices about what images we see that actually help readers get more context out of the story. Let's start by looking at whether or not you need an image to publish your story on Medium in the first place. The short answer is no. All you need to publish a story on Medium is just a single word. Once that word is saved, you can go ahead and publish, and this can go live and live on your profile right now, as is, no photo required. If you choose to submit your story to a publication, carefully read the submission guidelines. So here, for example, is the publication Frazzled, which is about parenting and humor. And you'll notice that they do require an image at the top of their stories as part of their submission guidelines. So if you're looking at for a publication, definitely read the submission guidelines to make sure that if you need an image, you know it ahead of time. If you're interested in learning more about how to add images, where to find images, I have a whole guide that I will link here and in the video description as well. Now let's talk about the data. What does the data show about whether including images actually helps your stories reach readers or not? The short answer here is that including images doesn't actually mean that your story is more or less likely to reach readers. In the individual story, so you'll notice that most stories on Medium do include an image, but that's normally because the writers just want to. When we've looked at the data, we see that adding a photo, whether adding an image doesn't help the click-through rate, it doesn't help the presentations, it doesn't increase the views or the reads. In short, what we found is that Medium readers are here for the story. Now, with specific stories, it's true that adding images can help give more context to readers. So, for example, here is Emily's story. She's a visual artist, so she includes this kind of branded imagery to all of her stories. So looking at her profile, she has a consistent look and a consistent feel to all of her images. This may help her specifically and help her readers recognize and check out her stories when they see them. But I also want to remind you that your stories, when you publish them on Medium, are going to reach far beyond your individual followers. Here's my inbox, and you can see that some of the stories I'm being recommended don't even have an image at all, and the ones that do have an image, the image is small and it's not the main focus. The main focus is the writer, the publication, and of course the title. The title is really what we see having a big effect on whether or not readers choose to click and read the story. I have a whole guide on how to write good titles by using Medium data linked here and in the video description. We've covered how to add an image, whether or not you need to, what the data shows. Now let's talk about the best practices. In general, what we recommend is that you add an image if you think it's going to add value, context, richness to your story. The old saying that a picture is worth 1,000 words, it is true, but remember that readers on Medium are here to read, not necessarily to look at stories. There are a couple of occasions when including a photo or an original image or even a stock image is a great idea. So for example, for Full Frame, which is a publication all about fine art photography, of course it makes sense that Lauren would include gorgeous, really beautiful personal images that she herself took when she was in the Lake District National Park. So that adds a lot of context for this story. It gives another reason for readers to come check out this story, because if they're following this publication, they probably are interested in fine art photography and they want to see the photos that she chose to take. And I mean, they are stunning and fun and interesting. You don't have to go with original photography. I'm not a professional photographer, and I know many of you aren't either. You can see Kyrie Gray here included just a stock image of a mean cat. This, to me, adds fun to the story. This would make me more likely to click as an individual reader because it adds interest. Cat sitting pure evil isn't fun. Here's a picture of a mean cat. So I think that this adds a lot of just emotional resonance to the story and helps get me in the mood to read the story about Hell Hath No Fury, like a cat who thinks someone's abandoned her. Who wouldn't? The final example I have is by Leonore. She doesn't use a header image, but she does include just some photos that she herself took of the murder of crows that she visits frequently. So for me, as a reader, this adds authority. I look at the title of Do Crows Have ADHD? I look at her author profile. It's a photo of her with her crows on her shoulder. And I see the photo that she is taking photos of crows. This is not a stock photo. This is a photo she herself has taken, which again adds a lot of authority. If you're interested in learning more about how to fill out your bio and your about page, both of which are linked to getting more followers on Medium, check out this guide that I've filmed. I'll include it in the video description as well. So, in short, do you need a picture? No. Does it help you find your readers? It can, but not in any statistically significant way. We see stories that have no images find their readers, and we see stories that do have images also find their readers. It comes down to what you think is best for your story. Look for stock images that add some extra emotion. If you have your own original photography or you're up to making your own drawings, that can give a lot of just personality and richness to your story to readers. If you find yourself spending hours looking for the perfect photo, or there's just no real photo or image that you think adds anything, I would guide you to actually not include the photo, because a bad image is worse than no image for readers. A bad image can turn readers off, make readers more likely to not click and read your story, or just give the wrong impression about what your story is about. So, hopefully this was useful for you, and hopefully it frees you up from the pressure of having to choose the right image. If nothing's coming to mind, if there's not a great fit, an image for your story, the pressure's off. You don't need one to publish, and you don't need one to reach your readers. Thanks for watching this video. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and check out the linked resources I mentioned, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, everybody.